What it is, my 10 LPs and Grease here, and today we're talking about how to get 4 syndicates all in positive standing. Now, I did briefly cover this in my How to Syndicate vid, but this question gets asked so doggone much, I really felt it was important to break it off on its own, and here we are. Now, if you don't know much about syndicates and you're thinking about getting into them in Warframe, I highly recommend that you check out my How to Syndicate vid. Now, I know it's an extremely long vid, but there's so much vital information to cover in regards to syndicates. I felt I just simply could not do the syndicate system justice in a 10 or 15 minute vid. I couldn't do it. So, but it's definitely worth a peek. Okay, now I can already hear some people making the comments in the old comment section that, Peace, you don't know what you're talking about because you only have 2 syndicates at max rank. Okay, listen. I have leveled every syndicate to max rank multiple times in some cases and bought everything every syndicate has, with the exception of the new syndicate rewards. To show you this, new Loca, I'm coming down here to hide owned. And you notice the only thing I have left to pick up is the new Capturicine, and I will be needing to pick up a new Akuza blade. Red Veil, the new Korra augment, as well as the new Capturicine. Parent sequence. I need to pick up the new Nidus skin. Excuse me, not Nidus skin, Nidus augment. And the Capturicine, and I will be picking up another Syndicates stock. Cipolon Suda. I need to pick up the Capturicines. Harbiters of Hexus. I need to pick up the Capturicines, and I will be picking up an extra Corvus and Syndicates barrel to have extras. And last but not least, Steel Meridian, the Nidus and Korra augments, and new Capturicine. Now, this isn't me being braggadocious, just me trying to kind of head off any problems prior to being problems. So, I have had 4 syndicates in the positive numerous times, and let me warn you guys ahead of time in regards to syndicates getting 4. It's much easier to get 4 syndicates to positive standing than it is to keep 4 syndicates in positive standing, because once you start burning through your standing to pick up items from those syndicates, you then have to switch back to those syndicates to reclaim more standing, and that's where the problem lies. So, for ease of use, I'm going to break this down. Now, when people refer to syndicates in the game of Warframe, they typically, you'll hear something along the lines of, I have 3 right, 3 left, 3 on the right, 3 on the left. What does it all mean? Well, if you draw an imaginary line from the eye on syndicates up here straight down in between all of the syndicates, when someone says, I have 3 on the right or 3 right, what they're saying is the 3 syndicates to the right of this imaginary line. In this case, we're talking Parent Sequence, Red Veil, and New Loca. Likewise, if they say I have 3 left or 3 on the left, they're saying they have the 3 syndicates on the left side of the line. Cephalon Suda, Hexus, the Arbiters of Hexus, I should say, and Steel Meridian. Now, as I said, I'm going to use this system to break down how to get 4 syndicates. And I'm going to start with the right side of the line. So I'm going to show you how to get the 3 syndicates on the right, plus Steel Meridian, which is 4 syndicates. And then I will move on to showing you how to get the 3 syndicates on the left plus Red Veil, which is 4. Now, I will have a couple of key points that really I need to stress after I show you this. So stay tuned for those because they're really important to know. But let's get into this. So what you're going to want to do is go into your arsenal. Now, in your arsenal, underneath the Regalia tab, underneath that tab, on the front or the back of your Warframes, you'll be able to put a Syndicate sigil. Now, you will automatically have a sigil for each one of these syndicates present here. Automatically, it'll be in your arsenal. What you're going to do is you're going to equip a new Loka sigil on every single one of your Warframe. Now, the reason why I'm specifying that you equip a certain sigil on every one of your Warframes is just a safety measure. All right, I've been in the situation where I'm leveling certain syndicates. I switch to a Warframe I haven't used in a while. I break it out of the closet, dust it off, run a mission, and whoopsies. Guess what? It has an old syndicate sigil on there that I forgot about, and I just lost some of my standing. So there you go. That's why I'm stressing this. So, as you are leveling New Loka, you will in turn be leveling up Parent Sequence. All right. Once you get New Loka to the max standing of Flawless and Parent Sequence to the max standing of Partner, you are then going to go into your arsenal and affix a Red Veil sigil on every single one of your Warframes. All right. As you level Red Veil, you will in turn be leveling up Steel Meridian. And wham bam, thank you, ma'am. That's how you get the 3 syndicates on the right, New Loka, Red Veil, and Parent Sequence, plus Steel Meridian. Now let's move on to the left side of this imaginary line. Okay? So what you're going to do is, again, you're going to go into your arsenal and you are going to affix a Cephalon Suda sigil on every single one of your Warframes. As you level Cephalon Suda, you will be leveling the Arbiters of Hexus. Okay? Once you have Cephalon Suda at the max rank of Genius and the Arbiters of Hexus at the max rank of Maxim, you are then going to affix a Steel Meridian sigil on every single one of your Warframes. As you level Steel Meridian, automatically you will also be leveling up Red Veil. And easy peasy lemon squeezy, you have the 3 on the left, Cephalon Suda, Arbiters of Hexus, Steel Meridian, and Red Veil. Okay, so here's some key points to it. I can't stress this enough, all right, because I can already hear this is going to be asked in the comment section, and someone's going to say, peace, I don't want Red Veil or Steel Meridian. Is there a way that I can get New Loka, Parent Sequence, Cephalon Suda, and Arbiters of Hexus? The short answer is no. The way that the alignment system works is that even if you try to say, for example, throw a Parent Sequence sigil on all your Warframes, you will be leveling New Loka as well. So you could get those 2 to max standing, right? But as soon as you go to throw an Arbiters of Hexus sigil on, you're going to be losing Parent Sequence standing. All right? So no matter what you do, you are going to be losing, even best case scenario, Parent Sequence, for example, while I'm leveling New Loka at the same time, I'm still losing points for Arbiters of Hexus. All right? If I use an Arbiters of Hexus, I'll be leveling Cephalon Suda at the same time, but I'll be losing Parent Sequence. Right? So that's the downside to trying to get these 4 in the middle, we'll call it. Right? Trying to get Hexus, Suda, Parent, and Loka. Yeah, I tried to finagle it, I tried to get it done, and I could not do it. So let's get to the key points that you really should know about this. And the first one is this. It is much easier to get 4 syndicates in positive standing than it is to keep 4 syndicates at positive standing. What I mean by this is, when we look at Cephalon Suda, for example, you can only run the Cephalon Suda sigil, as I stressed at the beginning. When you're leveling Cephalon Suda, yes, you are leveling Arbiters of Hexus. And as you switch to Steel Meridian, you can only use the Steel Meridian. You'll be leveling Red Veil as well, but you can't ever switch to that Red Veil sigil. All right, so I stressed it in my how to syndicate bid, and I got to stress it here. These alignments are critical, particularly if you're trying to get 4 syndicates. It is absolutely critical. All right. So let's say you burn some standing, you buy some stuff in Cephalon Suda. So you're like, I need to go ahead and get some of my points back. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the old Sephi Suda sigil back on my Warframe. In doing so, you will be losing some of that Red Veil. All right. So that's something that you need to really kind of keep in mind. All right. Particularly in regards to hexes. Right. Now, thankfully, as I said, if you're working on the 3 on the left, you can only run that Cephalon Suda to level hexes and Suda. You can only run that Steel Meridian sigil to level Meridian and Red Veil. Likewise, on the right side, you can only run this new Loka sigil to level Loka and Parent Sequence, but you will still be losing a little bit of Steel Meridian whenever you spend those points, that standing. All right. Likewise, you run that red veil sigil, you will be acquiring Steel Meridian level as well. All right. So, yeah, it's easier to get 4 in positive standing than it is to keep them there. So it is a dance. It's a subtle dance where you spend some of your points, and then you really need to pay attention to which missions you're running with what, gaining some of that standing back, and then switching back to those sigils I've mentioned. It's a dance. It really is a dance, and you have to pay so close attention to those alignments. Okay. Now, the other thing I really kind of need to stress is in regards to these sigils, you can get those sigils that increase your standing gains. As you level these up, every sigil has standing gains that you can acquire. So, for example, one of the very first sigils you can acquire on New Loka, for example, is this 5% bonus standing for running one of these sigils. All right. This one's going to give you 8%. These two will. All right. These two will give you 11%. These two will give you 13%. And this one will give you 15%. And every syndicate works the same way. So you can gain extra standing with these sigils. But here's the hang up. As I said, if you're trying to get to 3 on the syndicates on the right plus Steel Meridian, you're only going to run this new Loka to level Loka and Perrin. All right. You can only run that Loka sigil. All right. Now, you will be leveling Loka at a quicker rate than you will Perrin, since you're not using the Perrin sigil. If you get trigger happy and decide Perrin's leveling too slow, to heck with it, I'm going to throw on this Perrin sequence to level it quicker, you're going to be losing a massive amount of Steel Meridian standing. All right. So don't go all crazy and hog wild and start throwing whatever sigils you want wherever. Okay. Pay attention to those alignments. Cannot stress that enough. All right. Cannot stress that enough. So, again, the answers to most of your questions are going to lie in those alignments. Okay, but that's how you get 4 sigils. Sigils. That's how you get 4 syndicates in positive standing in Warframe. As I said, it's easier to get 4 standings in positive. My mouth is just taking a vacation. Doggone it. It's easier to get 4 syndicates in positive standing than it is to keep. It's a subtle dance, and you have to pay microscopic attention to those alignments. So hopefully that answered your questions. If I missed something, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments section down below. And until next time, peace and grace.